Good afternoon. This is the regular monthly meeting of the Education, Outreach, and Training Committee of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force. I'm Sue Cawthon, the chair. To my right is Member Marjorie Williams. To my left is Member Doyle Johnson. And sitting at the table is our Administrator, Chris Rustum. And I would like to extend a very warm welcome to my old friend, Jerry Threet, who is our new Deputy City Attorney. So welcome, Jerry. We're looking forward to working with you. I met Jerry when he worked for Jake McGoldrick as an aide, and he's just a wonderful person to work with, so we're all looking forward to lots of sunshine. Okay. Can we have the first item on the agenda?
The first item is the adoption of August 13, 2009 minutes.
The adoption of the August minutes, is that?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Any comments on the August minutes? Any changes to the August minutes? Any public comment on the August minutes? Okay, then I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we accept it.
I second. All right, roll call, please.
On the motion, Member Johnson.
Aye.
Member Johnson, aye. Member Williams.
Aye.
Member Williams, aye. Member Cawthon.
Aye.
Member Cawthon, aye. Madam Chair, we have 3 ayes.
Okay. I guess we should read the next item, and then I'm going to recuse myself.
Item number 2 is the hearing on the status of the July 28, 2009 order of determination of Sue Cawthon against the public library.
Okay. I'm just going to entertain a motion to recuse myself, and we have to vote on it. So I need a second.
Second.
Marjorie seconds.
I
I made the motion. Marjorie seconds, and we'll take a roll call on that.
On the recusal of Sue Cawthon, Member Johnson.
Aye.
Member Johnson, aye. Member Williams.
Aye.
Member Williams, aye. Member Cawthon.
Aye.
Member Cawthon, aye. Madam Chair, we have 3 ayes.
I'm asking you now as a complainant, could you pass out that handout that I gave you? I've asked Member Williams, our senior member, to be chair.
Good afternoon. I'm Marjorie Williams, and I would like to know, is there a representative here from the library?
Madam Chair, I do not see a representative in the audience.
There is a representative?
There is no representative. I do not see a representative.
Okay.
If there's no representative, I would make a motion to find them in fault of, what is it, 67 for not showing up. Do you know which one it is?
Yes, sir. There has been a motion that we uphold the determination that we had, which was 67, what is it? 67, 67.15 of the Administrative Code, which provide that every agenda for regular meeting should provide an opportunity for members of the public to address the public body.
Madam Chair, could you speak in the microphone?
And the next violation was on 6734, which was willful conduct and official misconduct against the Library Commission.
And also refer it to CAC.
Yes. And have you heard anything from them, Chris?
No, I haven't, Madam Chair, no.
We haven't heard anything from them.
Determinations later. Give Sue the 5 minutes.
We would like to make a motion. Could we recall Member Cawthon up for any additional information that you might have? Member Cawthon?
5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to say that I too am very very disappointed that the library didn't show up. They didn't show up at the hearing either. I think that member Johnson was absent at the hearing, but I did bring a copy of the transcript, which shows that I attempted to make public comment that was not related to any other item on the agenda and was told I couldn't speak. And I tried to explain to her that I was speaking on an item that had nothing to do with the North Beach item, which was the second item. And she started to yell at me, and she yelled I heard her yell, "Sit down," 8 times until she was positively bellowing. So I think that's possibly why the task force felt that there was willful misconduct, because the city attorney was walking over to talk to her, but I sat down before the city attorney made contact with her. So I guess my position is that since the library's not here, we don't know what they're going to do to rectify situations like that. I certainly think that, in my opinion, they're trying to sort of sweep this under the rug. It was a pretty embarrassing situation for me. I don't know how they felt, but I did ask the Secretary of the Library Commission if she had talked to anybody about it, and she said no. And then I did testify in public comment at the Library Commission saying that, you know, it was I did not intend to be rude to the commission, but I didn't intend to break any rules, and that I had a lot of respect for the commission, but I didn't feel that I had done anything that violated their rules. So when this got into the minutes, it said only that Sue Cawthon said she had a lot of respect for the Library Commission. So I hope that this body can make a recommendation that the Library Commission takes some steps to see that this sort of thing doesn't happen again, 1, and number 2, that they assure that the chair of the commission conduct herself in a manner befitting a public official and show respect toward the public. And that's, I mean, I'm willing to answer any questions, but I hope you will take some kind of action. I don't know if this would be appropriate to go to the Compliance and Amendments Committee, or if we can, at this body can just make a recommendation.
Is there anyone that has any support for Member Cawthon's claim? I see there still is no representative from the respondent. Any public comment? Discussion, Member Johnson.
I kind of stand with the motion to take it back to CAC and see what we can do from that department. Chair Ifney wrote the commission and advised them that they are breaking sunshine laws. And possibly, if we can't get it resolved, we'll make a decision and say CAC to refer it to the Ethics Commission or somewhere else.
I totally concur with you and Member Johnson. Member Cawthon did bring a CDV here, which was very visible, and it was just implorable the way she was treated at a member, and any resident, a citizen in San Francisco should not have been treated the way that she was treated in a public meeting. So I concur that we referred this on. I make a motion. Do you want to make the motion?
I think I made the motion already. So, and you?
I will second.
On motion, Member Johnson.
Aye.
Member Johnson, aye. Member Williams.
Aye.
Member Williams, aye. Member Cawthon recused. Madam Chair, there are 2 ayes.
Member Carper, will you return to your chair, please?
Thank you. Would you read the next item?
The next item is the hearing on the status of the July 28, 2009 order of determination of Ann Grogan against the Police Commission.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Grogan, you have 5 minutes.
I'm a bit unfamiliar with the purpose of today's hearing, so I may need some guidance. Since July 28th, I've received no communication from anyone regarding a meeting called of the steering committee. And it's my understanding that 6 months from the kickoff of the study of the patrol specials, that there was to be a draft report and feedback from the steering committee. That's written in the report. So I'm a bit curious about why during the past 5 weeks there's been no meeting of this committee, or at least to my knowledge, none. And how I'm going to be given notice, and the public's going to be given notice of any upcoming meetings. Apparently the report is due out fairly soon, and there must be a draft report in the works which needs input from this steering committee. I'm not sure who to follow up with my request to. I have certified mail to Commissioner Sparks, to Commander Tong. I've written my supervisor who sits on the committee, and I've certified mail to the Boston Research Director. All of those letters have been received, so they're on notice of your finding. So perhaps Lieutenant O'Reilly could give an assurance that there's been no such meeting, and he knows of no such meeting that's going to be called this month, or when the next meeting is set for.
I wonder if you could get a little closer to the microphone. Your voice is a little faint to me.
Sorry.
So
at this point, I have no information.
and what is it that you want? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you before.
I have no information as to whether or not the steering committee has been called since July 28th, when the task force issued its opinion. Perhaps Lieutenant Riley could answer that and alert me as to when the next meeting will be.
Okay, then we should hear from the police department, and you can come back on rebuttal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Lieutenant Joe Riley. I'm the Secretary of the San Francisco Police Commission. I'm aware of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force order of determination with respect to Ms. Grogan's complaint, and that it was determined that, in fact, meetings of the steering committee referenced in the complaint are those of a passive meeting body, and therefore notice should be given of the meetings of that body, since it has been determined to be advisory to the Police Commission. What I did in the wake of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force determination was to advise members of the Police Commission who sit on that steering committee, that is Commissioner Sparks and Commissioner Mizuko, of the order determination, and to please tell me when there is a meeting scheduled, and I will issue the appropriate notice. Since that time, Commissioner Sparks has resigned from the Police Commission, so we only have one commissioner on the steering committee at this point in time. Since the date of the task force order of determination to this moment, I have received no notice of any pending meeting. Therefore, I have no notice to issue. And I have no information about their schedule, as I stated in the original response to the complaint. And when I am notified, I'll certainly comply with the orders of the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Grogan?
Thank you.
So could you just step to the microphone? So does that satisfy the resolution that we found there was a violation for failure to produce records related to the steering committee meetings, for failure to notice the meetings, and for denying attendance to the meetings? And from what I'm hearing Lieutenant Riley say, that does this satisfy your objections now?
With the clarification, am I understanding that, to his knowledge, there has been no meeting since the Sunshine Task Force met? Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, that's what he said. Come on up.
Fine.
Come on up. Why don't you just have a dialogue?
If there's nothing to report, there's nothing to report. I would hope to hear in the near future.
Lieutenant?
Yes, ma'am. I have I made parties aware of the order of determination by the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, so they're on notice. And having not been notified myself, then I would have to conclude that there have been no meetings to this point.
How did you make them aware? Did you write them or
I contacted them by email, I believe, as I recall. I have to look back, but I communicated with each individual personally.
Okay, so could you get Ms. Grogan a copy of that email?
I will.
That'd be good. Mr. Doyle, Member Doyle.
Through the chair.
Johnson.
When is the report due to come out?
I have no direct knowledge of the functions of the committee or the progress of the report. I'm not directly involved in that at all.
Do you have any estimate of like a month, 2 months?
As I stated in our response to the original complaint, I have no information about the function of the committee, the steering committee, and the progress of the work under this contract, which is actually executed between the police department and the
Mrs.
contractor.
Grogan, do you have an...
Commander Tong was served a certified mail, so she was noticed of your opinion, and I asked that she inform me, also Commissioner Sparks, received certified mail. So they're on notice of your decision to the best that I could communicate it.
Thank you.
To answer your question, sir, there is in the proposal, which you have in the record, 6 months from the kickoff date of the study was due a draft report submitted to the steering committee with discussions and advice, and then a subsequent final report. The kickoff date was March, therefore it's due sometime this month, so I anticipate there would be a meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a way to pin this for a subsequent hearing?
That was about to be my recommendation, is to refer this to maybe next month for follow-up to see if they have reached their 6-month deadline.
Okay, Ms. Williams, do you have anything?
I was just wondering from Lieutenant Mahoney, is there someone in the steering committee that maybe you can get in touch with to find out when their next meeting is going to be, or something?
I will inquire of the one remaining commissioner on the steering committee. It would be my only avenue for information in this matter.
Well, we would appreciate it if you would even endeavor to make that step to talk to that one commissioner and see if and when they plan to have a meeting. And I know Commissioner Sparks has left, so it might have been just kind of laid back. Do you accept that, Ms. Gorgon? That
May I hear from Lieutenant Riley when he gets that answer? That would be fine.
okay? Thank you.
Lieutenant Riley, when you get the answer, could you let Mr. Rustum know, and then Mr. Rustum can tell Ms. Grogan? Who is the one remaining member? I didn't hear what you...
It's Commissioner Mizuko. Z-Z-U-C-C-O.
M-A-Z-Z-U-C-C-O. Okay. Do you know, who's the chair of the police commission now?
It is Commissioner Joe Marshall, Dr. Joe Marshall.
And does he intend to appoint another person to that committee? Do you know?
I have no discussion about that I'm aware of at this point, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I think that...
We're down one commissioner. We normally have 7, and we're missing one, so we may, he may wait till that seat's filled to redistribute the different committee memberships.
Okay. If you can just keep Mr. Rustum informed if anything happens, so that Mr. Rustum can forward it to Ms. Grogan, and then we will, I think that we should continue it. Is next month a reasonable estimate as to when you think you might have something for Ms. Grogan?
I'll inquire today.
Okay.
As I say, though, the functioning of this steering committee is not within the immediate purview of the commission. We have 2 members, or we had 2 members on it, and I'll do my best to ascertain if there is to be a meeting held, but it's not something the commission directly controls.
But is it only the steering committee that's doing this report?
Well, I believe the report is the work product of the contractor in this matter, and the steering committee exists for the benefit of the contractor here. So that's my understanding of it. When this complaint was filed, I had really absolutely just very limited information about this. I had to really educate myself by reviewing the contract that was executed here and that actually talks about the steering committee.
Because the Sunshine Task Force did find that that was a public document, that the report would be a public document once it's completed.
I would totally agree, ma'am.
Right.
When it's completed and received by the city, yes, it would be a public document.
Okay, well then, all right, then I would entertain a motion to continue this until our next meeting and just to get a progress report.
Second. I'll
Okay.
second that.
Okay, roll call, please.
On the motion to continue this item, Member Johnson.
Aye.
Member Johnson, aye. Member Williams.
Aye.
Member Williams, aye. Member Cawthon.
Aye.
Member Cawthon, aye. Madam Chair, we have 3 ayes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, can you call the next item?
Madam Chair, would you like to inform the parties that the next meeting will be the 8th of October?
Okay.
Next item is the hearing on the status of the July 28, 2009 order of determination of Bridget against the police department.
Okay. Is Bridget here?
Madam Chair, Ms. Bridget called me this afternoon to say she would not be able to attend.
I see.
And she also did mention that she has not received anything from the police department.
Okay. Then could we hear from the police department as to what the status is? Hi, Mr. Lieutenant Maloney.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Lieutenant Daniel Mahoney, head of the Legal Division, San Francisco Police Department. I find that surprising that she said she did not receive anything because I spoke with her on the day of the hearing, and and gave her my business card. The next day, she sent me an email telling me giving me her address so that I could send her the report. I pulled the report that day around noontime and sent it out via U.S. mail by 3 o'clock. So I'm surprised that if she hadn't received it, she hadn't sent me an email back telling me she hadn't received it, because I did send her a confirmation email back saying that it is now in the mail to you.
Okay. Are you Miss Bridget?
No, I'm sorry. This is Manager Cheryl Coleman from the Records Management System.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So since we don't have Ms. Bridget here, can you convey to her that what Lieutenant Mahoney said?
I certainly can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Um,
Mr.
The
Johnson.
Chair, could you send the information that you say that you sent to her to our administrator so he can send it to her?
Oh, certainly. That's not a problem.
Yeah. I think that would be really...
Sure.
Okay. So anybody else have anything to say on this? Any public comment?
No, just that the reason I brought Manager Coleman here was this. I work out of the legal division, and this incident occurred out of records management. She is the manager of records management. So she attended our PRA Sunshine class last April and has been trained in it, and she's in the process now of training her staff so that something like this doesn't occur again. One of the ancillary issues we have in record management is that we do have some transitory or temporary employees down there, and sometimes things fall through the crack, but we are doing the best we can.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate the effort the police department is making to follow the Sunshine Ordinance, and thank you also, Ms. Coleman. And let us know keep in touch with Mr. Rustum about the progress, and if he can send it to Ms. Bridget, and maybe we can put this thing to rest. So thanks again.
And thank you, Lieutenant Mahoney. I'm sorry, because I see that since in the last years we are beginning to get a better rapport with the police department, and that's great. That's good.
Things work easier that way.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Yes, we really appreciate that.
Sure.
And some of the people at our meeting last time said, the police department are really good guys. So I think that you have a lot to do with that, Lieutenant Mahoney.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, then we'll just go on to the next agenda item.
Item number 5 is complaints about the 1-minute public comment period allowed at the Board of Appeals hearing on the demolition of the Ortega Library branch.
Yeah, I didn't, has anybody, that was my that was my, I brought that up, and there was a Board of Appeals hearing, and the room was packed, and they reduced public comment to 1 minute. But when the MTA did the same thing when they were reporting on their transit efficiency report, we objected because even though it was a packed room, we felt that a really important issue, 1 minute is just not enough time. So, I would like to make some kind of a recommendation that maybe Chair Nee, we could bring this up to Chair Nee, and he could write them and tell them that we would recommend 2 minutes at a minimum, even if the meeting is very crowded.
I concur.
Okay. Member Williams, all right, then why doesn't somebody introduce a motion to ask Chair Nee to convey to the Board of Appeals that our opinion that 2 minutes should be a minimum for public comment. Someone want to move that?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
And Marjorie seconds. All right, roll call, please.
On the motion, Member Johnson.
Aye.
Member Johnson, aye. Member Williams. Member Williams, aye. Member Cawthon.
Aye.
Member Cawthon, aye. Madam Chair, we have 3 ayes.
Okay.
Item number 6 is the outreach for sunshine presentations.
Okay. As everybody knows, we're going to give a presentation to the Mayor's Office of Economic and Workforce Development on the 16th at 3:30. Is it 50 Van Ness?
That's
50
correct.
Van Ness, yeah. And we're going to take these brochures and pass them out, and we're also going to take these PowerPoint, a PowerPoint presentation. Have you been able to talk to them about whether or not they have any equipment for showing?
She hasn't responded to my...
Okay. But they only want us for an hour, and this is 8 pages long. So, and I have a meeting to conduct that night at 6 o'clock, and I need a little break. So maybe we could just really try and keep it to an hour. But I would like to give out some assignments. Doyle, we did the Shanti people, and it was Doyle and me, so I'm going to try and stick close to that.
Member Cawthon, before you go any further, I am very much interested in the economic and workforce development.
Okay.
In fact, I'm at their meetings. And who set up this meeting? Is it Rhonda Simmons that you're dealing with?
Who are we dealing with?
I think with her permission, it was... Actually, the person who started it was Christina Pallone.
Who?
Christina Pallone.
Oh, Christina.
She initiated it.
Pallone, okay.
And got the
How
blessings of
do you spell her name?
Pallone is Pallone. Yeah, she's been around a long time.
And do you have her contact, her phone number?
I do not have it.
KRISTINAPAL.
I will email you the information.
Will you find out if she's got any apparatus for the... And I'd like to talk to her also. So will you, once you get her contact information, could you get it from 311? And then let me know.
Member Kaufman, this is one of the agencies that has a lot of things going negatively against them with the community outreach and bidding and everything else. So, where did you say it was going to be on Mission? Where is
It's 50 Van Ness.
15 Van Ness, yeah.
50 Van Ness at 3:30
Yeah,
on September 16th.
50 or 15?
50.
50.
Do we have this posted
On the 15th?
No, we don't.
anywhere? Because,
On the
I mean,
16th.
if we go and give a presentation, is that not us being a passive body?
Yeah.
I think that we need to have this posted.
This will be part of the minutes. It will become part of the minutes and posted on the website.
Okay.
You know, you said, remember, Cawthon, you only have an hour. These people are seriously in need of training.
Well, I mean, I could leave and you two
We
can
can
take.
I mean, you know,
And I
know most of them. So.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do. So.
We can
So
take it.
yeah, we can handle it. After you leave, but this is one agency that really need to be.
So I would leave at 4:30, and you can stay and and talk to them. They only wanted 1 hour, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Let's
play
give
it by
the 1
ear.
hour.
So I'm going to pass out some assignments. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's say who talks about what. And why don't you each take a copy of the PowerPoint? And I thought I would just generally talk about public records. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about public records. And Marjorie, will you talk about public meetings? Where is that? Yeah, starts on page 2.
Okay.
So let me see, assignments. Let me write this down. Let's see, it was records. Marjorie is public meetings. Then I'll talk about notice and closed sessions. What was the issue with them, Mr. Rustin? Do you recall?
I think it was failure to produce documents.
Was it
Somebody
failure to
asked them-
produce
yes.
documents? Okay. Okay. Then failure produce records. So maybe we
Production
focus.
of records is on
Focus.
page 6 at the bottom.
What's that?
Production of records is at the bottom of page 6, where it goes into an immediate disclosure request. But failure to produce
We'll get to that. It's immediate
documents.
disclosure. We'll get to that.
Is what do you know the violation?
What's that?
Was there a violation?
The violation was failure to produce records.
Or what section of the ordinance do you know?
That I do not remember. Yeah.
We'll find that out.
Okay, so Member Cochran, you're going to take page 1, public records. Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to take public records.
Okay.
And then,
Johnson is going to take, Dahl is going to take what?
well, you can just briefly talk about meetings that that's on page 2.
That's on page 2, yeah.
Right.
That's what you signed.
And
Also on
it
page
goes over to page
5,
3.
those passive meetings also.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave, I think maybe I should take over something toward the end.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's just move along then. Let's see.
Public records.
Doyle, you had
Seriatim meetings, yes.
seriatim meetings and item, and all, they can't discuss an item that isn't on the agenda.
6721B. The complaint was on 6721B.
Which is,
Is what-
6721B is,
Okay, so where's Dahl going to start? From page 6, public
wait a minute.
records?
So 6721B is produce documents within 10 days.
Okay.
Justify withholding. So the violation was 67.21.B. 6721B is the violation. Okay.
Could I get a
There's more about
copy of
public
the
records on
complaint
page-
for the presentation,
page
just so I have
6.
something to reference back to, that, what their main problem was?
I'll get it through the chair. I'll get it to you at the end of the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Record of meetings. Yeah, public records on page 6.
I could take over from page 6.
And you want to take immediate disclosure requests? That's on page 6.
Yeah, and email retention and
Okay.
nonprofit.
That's important, yeah.
Because so Doyle's going to do
And then
IDR. What did you do at?
I mostly focused on
Shanti.
the seriata meetings and passive meetings and how it was when you had to keep notes, and that we had a little bit of time for questions. The complaint was on 6121B, so I think that would be
Be like boy.
Be like boy, yeah.
Okay.
When we get down to immediate disclosure requests, and it could be something to focus on. And I'll Chris is producing the complaint, so I can bring it with me.
Okay. Marjorie, when we did it out at the Bayview, and we also did it to that Sunset Business Group, remember? We sort of played it by ear, didn't we? I'm not quite sure how we did it, but it seemed like it went
played
really...
it by ear and let them ask questions at the end.
Yeah. So
And
maybe, yeah.
What I'm interested in is the closed sessions and what rights does the public have to know. That seems to be a really problem, Public comment, even with you, public comment, who could say something. I see at a lot of these meetings, people are being sit down or ignored.
So you want to talk about focus, you personally on 4 and 5, on the meetings and public comments, and what is a meeting and what type of meetings there are, and who has the right to speak and when.
Yeah, I could take 4.
You want to take page 4?
I take
Okay,
page 4.
Marjorie's page 4.
Page 2 and page 4.
Page 2 and 4. And Doyle, do you want page 6,
I can do 5, 6, and 7,
Okay,
6 and
good.
7?
and then we can both wrap up with questions with
Okay.
number 8.
Because we don't want to go into it in too much depth. I
Yeah,
mean,
we know,
basically,
yeah.
you just want to tell them, and I'll try and cover records, because that's what they were remiss on. But be sure you talked about IDRs, because those are important.
I will.
Okay, and then we'll have Q&A. So, how long were we at Shanti? Do you recall?
We were there a little over an hour, but part of that was because they weren't properly set up and ready for us in time.
Right.
And there was the building issue of being, every time the door locked, if someone shut the door, it locked.
Right,
And there was, we had some issues. Your car got
Yeah, I
towed.
remember. I remember that I also got my car towed. I parked out in front. of my car.
And
I didn't see the sign.
I remember Chan actually had shown up, but he couldn't find parking, and then the door was locked. So while we were in there,
Right. Yeah. Well,
And then the main thing is just really keep it simple to
Yeah.
the lay people that you're talking to. And the most thing that we want them to know that they have a right to ask for public records.
right.
And that's the main thing that they don't know. And what is a passive meeting? That's what they don't know.
And just to direct them back to
Yeah, just to-
more information is online. You can download Sunshine. You can come here, ask for
And
a
I
request.
think we passed them out little packages, little samples, so how to file a complaint, We just didn't tell them, well, Chris
this
wasn't
the,
here at that time.
okay,
We didn't
good.
tell them.
Thank you.
Just call the administrator. We had some kind of little form that we showed them, that this is how you can file, if you wanted,
So who was the filer? Zonda Simon? What is that name there? The person who filed the complaint. Oh, here it is.
His name is Alvin X.
Alex Zax. I remember him, Mr. Zax. Christina. No, is Christina Poloni's name spelled properly on page? I can't see the page, but it's the first page of the order of determination. Down there, third paragraph from the bottom. Christina Poloni, is that her spelling of her name?
Madam Chair, that's correct.
Yes,
That's
right.
correct, okay. Found it immediately. Okay. So we found that it violated 67.21B for untimely response. So one of the things we have to be sure and tell them is that they have to respond in 10 days unless it's an immediate disclosure request, in which case they have to respond by the end of the next business day.
And that a response may not just be like giving them the record, but they at least have to respond, and if they need more time to file.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think immediate disclosure request doesn't mean that they have to fill a voluminous request by the end of the next business day, but they have to get back to the requester by the end of the next business day. Okay. And how many people did they say will be?
Around about 40.
About 40? Okay, yeah, well,
It's going to be a hot one.
we're up to that. We're up to that.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, we've done it before. The Shanti people, there were about, wouldn't you say 30 or 40 people there?
There was
There
40
were a
to
lot of
50
people there. Okay, let's,
These are
we got
notorious.
so we've got everything. And usually the most interesting part is Q&A anyway.
Yes,
But I think they were just, they did, like so many departments, they just didn't know what to do. Or they didn't know the ordinance, and maybe they weren't real interested in finding out about the ordinance. So we need to tell them how important it is to for public participation, for them to provide information about how they're doing business. Yeah. Okay. So September 16th, 3:30, 50 Van Ness, which is on the east side of Van Ness, isn't it? Is it?
It's not 5, Venice. You sure it's 50?
Which side is it on?
And it's on this side. Right?
It's on the west side?
It's not in the old Bank of America now.
It's on the east side, yes. It's on
Is
the
it on
east
the
side.
building where that drugstore is? Rite Aid? Same side as Rite Aid?
Same side as Rite Aid, yes.
Okay, I think I.
So it's 50
Yeah, it's a
Van
little. It's a little building where a lot of city
on
offices are. I think the
16th,
Ethics
okay.
Commission is there as well.
Madam
Ethics
Chair,
is 25 Van Ness.
just for the for public record, it's September 16th, 2009. Right.
It's September 16th at 3:30 at 5050 Van Ness. And it's the Mayor's Office of Economic and Workforce Development. Okay. Okay, so we've got, let me go over the assignments again. I'll do public records on page 1 and a little bit of page 5, page 6. See page 1 and 6. Marjorie's going to do public meetings, pages 2 and 4, including public comment. I'll do notice and closed sessions. What page is that on?
What about the retreats on page 3?
I don't think that's real
Yeah.
key, but I mean, I'll just do a little bit of notice and then Doyle's going to do pages 6 and 7, including immediate disclosure requests, seriatim meetings, and passive meetings. And by this time, we can take Q&A, or we can continue talking. But I'll be going around 4:30, and I'm sure they'll be so fascinated they'll want to continue with us. At least I hope. Okay, so we're all set. So we can just go on to the next item on the agenda, which is further outreach.
Police community.
Yeah, police community relations. I was going to call, I forget who I was going to call, but I didn't do it. I'm sorry. So we'll just, I was going to call the guy at Central Station, police community relations. Could you call someone in your neighborhood?
My husband is on the police
He's on what?
task force.
He is? So who do you know
In
in
fact, we just had one out in Visitation Valley last night with the police chief.
Okay.
100 and some people attended. Yeah.
So could you talk to him about seeing if we could, is there a Bayview police station?
No, we are up under Ingleside, Captain Lenore.
Oh, okay.
Now we got a new one.
Okay. So why don't you, where is Ingleside Police Station?
It's over by Ocean where the
Is it on?
Balboa, right across the street from Balboa. school over that way.
Oh, okay. It's on Ocean?
Now, it's kind of a little off from Ocean, you know.
Okay. Well, why don't you ask your husband to see if they would be amenable to a presentation
to a
on the
presentation,
Sunshine
okay.
Ordinance, Ingleside Station. And Doyle, is there anybody you could, what about Mission State? We made a presentation at Mission Station a long time ago. Do you want to call someone at Mission Station and see if they're interested?
Mission State.
Huh?
I don't know who that is.
Mission Station? Wait, we have this
the
in our
mission statement of the police station. Mission.
we have this in our package. Where's our package? Yeah, Ernie got the names of all the police. Here it is. Yeah. On page.
Okay. Yeah, I can contact them and see if they want to.
Yeah. Do we have page numbers this month? I don't see any page numbers.
No, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I see it. I see it though.
But you will put them in next time, right? Yeah, good. Okay.
I'll contact someone at the mission station.
Okay, so you're going to contact Mission, and I'll contact Central.
This is not any sort of legal advice, but in my other role in the code enforcement team of the city attorney's office, we deal with the police community relations meetings. And so typically what we do is go through the code enforcement officer at the police station, who generally attends every one of these meetings and helps set them up. So I could get you a list of those officers.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be.
So could you email all three of us
Certainly, yes.
the code? Thank you. That's great. Okay, so Mission will be Doyle. And tell him that we made a presentation before. I can't remember who was the head of the station, but he was one of the guys who was implicated in that fajita gate thing. I can't remember his name, but yeah, we had quite an interesting presentation. I think we were following La Raza, and it was some huge issue, and everybody was screaming, and now the Sunshine Task Force in this dead silence. But it was good. I mean, it was a nice respite. So, okay, so that's the police. League of Women Voters, I'm supposed to be calling, I can't remember her name, but I will do that. LWV, Sue Cawthon. Council of District Merchants. Did we have a list of Council of District Merchants? Did you get that for us? Because I was going to call Jim Maxwell at Marina Merchants. I'm sure we have a list of the Council of District Merchants somewhere, just not in our package today. And then the Glen Park Association, I talked to Ann Grogan, who was one of our complainants today, and I did send an email to the president of the Glen Park Association, so we'll see what kind of response we get. She had talked to him, and he said he was interested.
Very receptive.
Yeah, so GPA, I'll follow up with that, Sue Cawthon. Anybody have any other ideas on places where we could make a presentation?
For right now, I think we see how this goes.
We've got our
because
hands
I have a couple of that. But we'll see how this goes right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On the PUC sunshine procedures, I just didn't get to that this month. So do you want to continue that until next time? We've done a lot of it. We're almost through. And I have a copy that's marked up. Does everybody else have a copy that's marked up?
No, I don't. Why don't you, for our city attorney, tell us just what it's about,
Do you have a copy that's marked?
Attorney.
Well, it's in our package right now.
I know, but so sometimes verbally, when you hear it, it's better than just read it.
Right. So, Chris, we didn't do it last month, but we did it the month before. We had made quite a lot of changes.
That is correct.
Got it. Do I have it here? We're almost finished. see. Yeah. June 11th, we made an enormous amount of changes, so I need to have we marked it up for there was, I think, was it the July? Was it our July minutes where we said what we were doing? Could you,
In the June minutes, I think.
sorry?
It was in the June minutes.
The June meeting, I've got all these markups, and then, is it in
The final document, I'm still waiting to finish it, then we can produce the final document.
Okay, well, is it in the minutes of the June meeting?
It would be in the July minutes.
In the July.
minutes?
July minutes.
Okay. So we should check,
And I don't think I mentioned it in detail because it is just scratching off a word here, adding a word there.
okay. Okay, did anybody have any thoughts on these?
But I have updated the DCA on what we're doing on that document.
Okay, great. Okay. So the next item is, could we read the next number 8?
Number 8 is an update that Member Johnson was to make a presentation.
Joel?
What I have right now is a demo from YBR. There's one thing lacking on it, which is the seal of the city and county of San Francisco, because I thought I might need permission to put that on the flyer. But this is pretty much what it would look like. And there would be 5,000 of them. I have gotten it down to distribution would be carried out over a series of time, although it's an out-of-pocket expense down to like $149. That's the best that I could do. On one side it's printed in English, and the other side it's printed in Spanish.
Okay.
Because the flyers before have been printed in Vietnamese and
So do you have, that's the sample you're holding?
Yes, and I'm going to pass this to the other members so that you can see that way. I think that since we've reached out to one alternate speaking citizens of the city, that this would be a good way to reach out for the other ones.
Okay.
That's the Spanish side, that's the English side.
Okay.
And this is where the seal would go if we can put a seal on this.
Okay.
If not, then it would be just.
You want the seal of the city of San Francisco, or what?
As to the city attorney, is it
Okay.
legal for us to put a seal on it after you looked at it? Have you seen it?
Marjorie?
Yeah, I
Pass
think
it.
there's a related issue. If personal funds are being used to pay for something, then there might be a restriction on the use
Yeah.
of the city seal. And I'll take a look at that and get back with you.
Could you bring a copy to the? I think that Jerry. Is it okay if we call you Jerry when nobody else is here? But I think that City Attorney 3 would maybe you want to look at it and see if it's okay.
I'm happy however you would like to address me.
Okay. Next time could you bring copies for everybody, or do you have any?
I only get one.
Oh, so do you mind if Jerry has a
No,
look at
I
it?
don't mind. You keep it, but I also wanted to pass it on to you to see that when you read it, if that's the proper information that we can see here. I took the key points from the brochure, and then I also added transcript of just what it was and when we were meeting, and I gave it over to the graphic designer, and he came up with a catchy "We Love Sunshine" so that people will not, want to throw it away, because they'll be flyering these and putting it on people's cars. And so, do you like it?
Like this, it's really catchy.
Is the
Like it. It's so designed to bridge the sunshine,
should we take it to the full task force?
I think they should see it. It's really cute.
I do.
I like it. It's point to the blank.
I haven't read it, but my only comment would be the print's a little small, it seems to me. Maybe
There will be some adjustments.
because maybe we could
beforehand.
say a little less and have the print a little bigger.
This print is just as small as in here. I mean, but it's an eye catcher, with
The print here, the print in our brochure is about 12 point.
Yeah.
10, either 10 point or 12 point. I would say this is about,
10,
what?
maybe 10.
6?
I'm not sure what it is,
It's not 10.
but
It's just,
that's
I mean,
one of.
the text is very small, maybe 6 or 8 point.
I can ask to make those changes.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I love the concept and I love the,
Is this what you're paying for? Is this
Yeah.
It's a blessing anyway. Any way we get it.
it's great.
And
It's
if you're
great.
paying for
So,
that,
so,
you like it.
so Jerry, should we put this on the agenda for the full task force? So they can have a look at it? I
You
mean,
can certainly do that,
Yeah.
and I would have an answer by that time about the seal.
okay, because we can't, could you get us a copy of just the text?
Yes.
Could you send me a copy and Marjorie a copy of the text?
Yes.
Email it to us?
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll just leave the original with Jerry.
I actually don't need that original
Okay.
to look into this, but if you'd like me to take a look at the text, just send me the text.
Yeah, because
Just make sure I have your email, all your emails when I
Okay.
leave here, and they'll probably have the text sent over.
I will forward the email to you.
it's Jerry.Threet@sfgov.org.
Thanks.
Yeah. So that's great. I mean, I really commend you for. It's great. It's a wonderful outreach tool.
I just want you to know this, one of our newskeeper, Ace, in the black community, he does Ace in your face, and he has the office
Oh, really?
downstairs in the media.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so the last item is pitching newspaper editors. And so everybody got a copy of neighborhood newspapers?
Yes, and I would like for the Grapevine to be put on there.
What's the Grapevine?
The Grapevine is a neighborhood newspaper.
Is it a Viz Valley paper?
It's valid.
Okay, can you find out who the editor is and what their phone number is?
Okay, I sure can.
Okay, and what about, we've got the New Bernal Journal. It seems like we've got everybody. So do you want to call Mary Ratcliffe at SF Bayview and ask her if she's interested? Okay, so
What do you want me to ask? She'll put anything in there with me.
ask if she's interested in a short article, maybe 250 or 300 words about the Sunshine Task Force.
That's great.
Yeah, so SF Bayview will be Marjorie.
And you also have another one, Sun Reporter.
The
That's
Sun Reporter, where's
gorgeous.
that?
African American newspapers.
Right. I've heard of it. Where is it?
Look at where Amelia Ashford is right now, but I could get in hold.
Do you want to call them too?
Get in touch with her.
Okay, Sun Reporter. What about, do you want to take somebody, what about the Castro Courier?
I can do Castro Courier. I can do Haight-Ashbury Beat. I can do Sunset Beacon.
Okay,
West
wait.
Portal Monthly.
Doyle is going to do Castro Courier. What about The Advocate? Is it called The Advocate? Aren't there a couple of gay newspapers? I forget what they're called.
That's a magazine for all.
Oh, really? I can't think of the name of it. Okay. The Castro Courier, the Haight-Ashbury Beat, And the Sunset Dispatch, Sunset Beacon.
and West Portal Monthly.
Well, Sunset Beacon and Richmond Review are owned by the same person.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Sunset Beacon and Richmond
Oh, they are. So that
Re-
would do both
Review.
of those.
Okay. That'll be Doyle. Doyle also. Okay. I'll do the West Side Observer. I know the West Side Observer is run by Doug Comstock, who used to be chair of this body, so I'll do the West Side Observer. And I'll try Central City Extra. I used to write for them. And we'll leave it at that. That's a big assignments for everybody. And I also wanted to point out regarding the people who are calling the police stations. Chris wrote. This is on. It's the beginning of the outreach item. It's item number 6. The first page is a memo to police station captains from Chris Rustum. Did you send that, or is this just a draft?
Just for your approval first.
Huh?
Just for your approval first.
Okay. So,
It's just taken out of the brochure, that's all.
okay.
Because we have a lot of new captains. It's
Right. Okay, does anybody have any thoughts on this, on the draft memo that Chris wrote? Well, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't send it. Anybody have any thoughts? Let's see.
I think it's a start because I know now that everybody's trying to meet the new police chief. And he's
Right.
real keen right now.
Well, I see no reason why you couldn't send that draft, the memo. And let me know, because we should probably follow up. Is there any way we can find out what the names of the captain is for each? Can you find that out for us?
Well, I will do that.
Okay.
I have that on the same list.
Oh, you do? So could you get that to Chris? Okay. Captain's name. Okay, great. Okay, well, we've got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do, but nothing that we can't take care of in the next month. So, does anybody have any further business? Any public comment from anybody? Do we have any audience left? Okay. Lost my agenda. So,
I have a comment.
Okay.
With the new construction coming out in the Visitation Valley area, the library, sledge lock, laying the pipe, we have a lot of, so it's coming at the right time because there's a lot of questions being asked and people don't know. So I think we're hitting everything at the right time, to keep the confusion down. In these meetings that we've been going down, there's a lot of confusion going on.
because of all the construction out in Tisville?
No, we don't have anything, but we got money coming out in Visitation Valley.
Is it in Viz Valley or is it in Bayview Hunter Point as well?
Well, that's the fight too, because it's one side of the street, Bay Shore, is Bayview Hunters Point, and the other side is Visitation Valley. So
Okay.
it's the southeast sector.
6 of one and half
Yeah,
dozen of the other.
yeah.
Okay, the southeast sector.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what the big fight is about right now. Who's gonna get what?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they can use the sunshine ordinance and
Yeah.
find out.
Found out.
Yeah.
Information.
Okay, anybody have anything else? Joel, do you have anything else? Okay, then. By a rising vote, we have no further business. We're in adjournment.